all into the illusion.
Lawson, we're going to be playing Need for Speed Most Wanted for you right here for the next 2 hours. I've just thought of something. I'm going to make sure my mic is on.
Oh, we have to?
It is
okay,
on. It
okay,
is on.
We're all right. And this is the new Most Wanted, because it's already been Need for Speed Most Wanted.
This generation, yeah.
It's crazy. Like
They rebooted a game from this generation, yeah.
Yeah, so Tomb Raider, fair enough, okay, it's been a long time since there was a game called Tomb Raider. It's been a long time since there's a game called this and that, but Most Wanted was, I don't even know what year that was. 5 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
New Most Wanted.
Anyway, it's developed by Criterion, the Burnout guys. The guys that
is.
did Need for Speed Hot Pursuit from 2 years ago,
Yep.
which was fantastic, by the way. So some people are kind of considering this Burnout Paradise 2.
Yeah.
It's that sort of game. It's an open world racing game.
Yep.
Caleb, we've all played it a bit. Caleb has probably played the most of it so far.
Yeah, and I mean, apologize in advance for all of the gamer face you're going to see.
Yeah, you're going to see some.
Because it's
is
hard to talk and play. Also, I'm going to play this the way that I always play Burnout games. So I'm kicking it into first person.
Yeah, you told me that. How do you play? Justin?
I have to play third person.
I
This
play
is
third
too.
too.
I'm like,
I know,
it's too much.
I know, and it's too intense.
It's got that same Burnout camera that's like very, very low to the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. Maybe we can hop in a pickup truck later and see whether that perspective is actually
Whether it's a
accurate
little bit higher.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm driving on the sidewalk here.
Yeah.
Hey, let me find a race.
So viewers, we're gonna.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for the next 2 hours. We're gonna show you a bunch of single player, then hop over, hopefully show you some multiplayer. We also have 5 copies of the game to give away, I want to say. So we'll be giving those out a little bit later on. It's for the platform of your choice. All you have to do is tweet your questions about the game at IGN. We'll answer them to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll win yourself a copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted.
So if you guys just noticed, I just switched from this green Tesla to this yellow Nissan now.
Right, so that's like the heart and soul of this game. It's an open world racing game. You're going through the city of Fairhaven. It's this sort of fictional city. I don't remember the name of the previous cities from previous Need for Speed games.
Yeah.
And so there's all the cars are available from the start. They're littered around the city, and like some are hidden and some are out in the open. And if you find a car, you can hop into it. And that's basically the premise of the game.
And then each car has their own races.
And then each car has, I think they each have 5. I don't know if the number grows or shrinks, but you hop in a new car. Each car truck has its own races. And so you kind of drive around the city exploring just kind of organically.
And I'm heading to the first easy race for this Nissan.
Yeah.
And Criterion's thing is that the whole game is unlocked from the beginning. Pretty much every car is unlocked. You just have to find them. It's just, they're just sitting, waiting for you to jack them.
And we found actually before we started recording, we were just kind of messing around, and I drove into a warehouse, and there was one of the cars in it. And so some are like very kind of hidden, and then some others are just kind of on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're playing on Damon's save, and that Nissan that I'm actually driving right now, you hadn't found yet. I just found it on the side of the road.
Thanks for finding me a new car.
Of course.
And there's, I don't know, I don't have a complete list of I think there's 50 or 60 vehicles in the game, each with their own 5 races. And I found quite a variety. Like we've had sort of sports cars and exotic cars, and I found a pickup truck that I did some off-road races in last night.
And then you earn customization options for winning races.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stats. You can see, it's
Actually about to jump into a race right now.
nice.
So each vehicle has 5 races available to it, and you select them with the D-pad. We'll go through some of that menu stuff in a little bit, but when you select a race, it just puts its waypoint on the map, and then you drive to its start point. And once you've found a race once, you can skip back there.
Yeah, you can
want.
immediately jump to it. What's nice about it, as compared to Burnout Paradise being another open world racing game where you couldn't really easily jump in and out of races.
Yeah.
Here you can just kind of jump in and out with ease.
Yeah, and that's eventually something they patched into Burnout Paradise. I like that game a lot. A lot of people like that game a lot. you couldn't restart races, and people complained and complained and complained, and Criterion had the reasons for it. They had good reasons for it being that way, and then finally they sort of acquiesced and built in a restart option, and that's something that feels much more baked into Need for Speed. Everything's sort of secret and hidden away, and your map is empty until you start discovering things, and then once you've found something once, it's sort of there and unlocked forever.
I missed Burnout Paradise, but people speak so highly of it.
Yeah.
I think maybe I should return to it. I was a huge Burnout fan back in the day.
Yeah,
But I
Burnout
couldn't.
3.
I couldn't get. Yeah, I couldn't get excited for Paradise because I loved crash events.
Yeah.
I loved crash events. Like that's what I want to do in Burnout. So
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Burnout Paradise. I like that game a lot. I've put many, many hours into it, but it is true that the crash mode is not nearly as good. Not anywhere close to as good as previous Burnout games.
But people speak highly enough of Paradise, so I should probably check it out.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was skeptical when I first started playing it because I did want that traditional Burnout experience. But I ended up playing a lot of it. Buddy and I actually, back in high school when first Burnout came out, we started playing Burnout then.
Yeah.
And the two of us would just like sit there for hours and just play Burnout for hours and hours. And we finally got into Paradise the same way.
Yep.
Which was cool.
So this is a game that brings back the police. Need for Speed as a franchise has had its ups and downs, and it's also changed sort of focuses lots of times. Sometimes the games focus on the police, sometimes they don't. And this game, I wouldn't say it has the same sort of police, chase sort of aspect to it that Hot Pursuit did. You can't play as the police or anything like that.
A good crash.
That was a good
Sorry,
truck crash.
guys.
So there are cops, there are pursuits, but it's not really sort of the focus of the game.
Yeah, another thing that this doesn't have, that Hot Pursuit has. Hot Pursuit had like crash porn.
Yeah.
Because it was more about crashing cars, and there was all this slow motion like Matrix cameras of the cars crashing. This game doesn't really have that.
Well, that was also single races too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take down cars in races, so you can basically eliminate cars from races if you run them off the road.
You got it. You got it.
Nice.
And so actually, you'll see I unlocked 2 mods, nitrous and tires. Nitrous, like any good Burnout player knows, is kind of key to the Burnout experience.
Yeah, and it recharges, you get air, do drifts or whatever.
Yeah. I'm sorry we all keep referencing Burnout so much while playing this. I know this is a Need for Speed game.
But it's developed by
made
Criterion.
Yeah, exactly. And Criterion has said that this to them is more of a Need for Speed game. The cars are a bit weightier, they handle a bit more realistically.
Yeah.
That's actually a really important point. The game, in my opinion, I'm not a racing game expert, but the amount of this that I've played, it seems to strike a balance between, Burnout is very arcadey, wild, huge drifts, and the cars feel light, whereas Need for Speed, that's a big roadblock. Wow, I can't believe you just got through that. Need for Speed has never been like a sim, but it was always a little bit more serious than Burnout was. And I feel like this is, in between the two. The cars feel weightier. When I first played, I was ramming into walls and crashing constantly because I was expecting to be able to take tighter corners than I was actually able to. There's definitely more weight to the vehicles.
Yeah.
That's actually a question that we've gotten from one of our viewers, Midget Squirrels. He was asking if this feels more like Burnout, Paradise, or past Need for Speed games. So
somewhere in the middle.
Right, sort of.
I'm playing it like a Burnout game.
Yeah,
and enjoying it that way.
If you play it 100% like a Burnout game, you will crash a lot.
Like that.
Yeah, like that. So it's a little bit more, it's striking.
I'm going to get busted so we can jump to a new race or a new car or something.
Is there a penalty for being busted? Do you lose
I don't think you lose speed points. I think it just
I think it's just for flavor.
kind of starts you back where you were.
Have we talked about speed points yet?
No.
How those work? That's sort of your currency in the game that you're building up, right? And that's so the premise of the game is that there's 10 racers in the city,
Which we can show actually right here in the menus. The most wanted cars.
This is the most wanted.
In the single player game, you're going to want to race all these cars.
But you have to earn the right. You have to earn the
speed
the right
points
to
through races.
race.
So the first that race I just did gave me 12,000 speed points.
So you earn speed points for everything you do. If you win races, you earn speed points. There's billboards to crash through like Burnout, and if you crash through billboards, you earn a few. And you also get them, for evading the cops and long drifts and things like that will earn you a few. And so these speed points are slowly accumulating over time. And then once you hit certain thresholds of speed points, then you unlock, now I can go, I'm number 11 and I can challenge the number 10 most wanted car and try to challenge him in a one-on-one race. And
and once we get enough speed points, during this stream, we'll definitely be able to take down at least a couple of the racers.
That was the car I found, back in that warehouse. And so this is a vehicle we haven't used yet.
No, I haven't unlocked it in my game yet either.
I just want to point out this is Bass Nectar. This is an awesome song.
The soundtrack in this game is awesome.
It really is
It's
actually really
good.
good. Ooh.
Gotta get used to handling of a new car.
Yeah,
And that's the other thing in Burnout, right? All the cars sort of handled the same.
Yeah, that's absolutely not the case here.
No, and they're all licensed cars here.
Yep.
I mean, being Need for Speed, they do have all the real car licensing.
So I saw Mitsubishi, Aston Martin, Tesla, Ford, Chevy, Nissan. I don't know what else. Yeah, what
There are a
else I saw.
ton.
Yeah. Now I haven't. This may be because the game hasn't launched yet, but I haven't noticed any real advertisements in the game. But I imagine. I mean, this would be the type of game where you can serve ads.
Yeah,
through
it's
billboards.
all the billboards right now look like they are
They're sort of-
EA devs. You
yeah.
see like Visceral Games
Yeah.
and Dice.
Yeah.
So, but once it's live, they could, they can update those ads.
Yeah. I kind of didn't notice till you pointed that out, but I saw BioWare.
An ad, yeah.
A big billboard, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, I mean, this game's really arcadey. As you saw, I smashed into the back of that truck and didn't crash,
Yeah.
but
So it's
that
got
makes it more fun.
it's got a day-night cycle. It looks like the sun's setting. It's going to be dark soon, or maybe it's rising.
Yeah,
but,
actually, one of our viewers has a question about that. This is Sentoyo J.
Whoa! That
What?
came out of nowhere.
Sentoyo J says, we've seen the sunset setting, night setting. Will there be changes in weather as well?
There
is a weather system.
It is?
I've seen it raining.
Okay, and you think that's random, like the day-night is?
I mean, I assume so.
Yeah.
It seems to happen
Okay.
randomly. So.
And day-night definitely, it's not just when you're running around. I mean, when
Yeah.
you go into races, the day-night cycle appears in there.
It's actually really cool. It's not scripted in the sense that if you enter an event, like that event will always be at sunset or whatever. It's whatever time you enter it. And so I did like this really epic sort of one-on-one battle, me and one of the AI cards, and it was right at sunrise. And I went over this hill, and like the sun was in my face, and like it's gonna be a really gorgeous game sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love their lighting engine.
Yep. And it can also, if you're having trouble with a race at night, like it's hard to see the turns that you need to take, maybe try it again during the day, and it might be a little bit easier for you.
Where are you headed right now,
I'm
Kevin?
headed to a race right now. So
Oh.
if you see my map, that green line.
Totally poning Sam Claiborne on the leaderboards.
So we can talk a little bit more about that after this race, but this game does some
What?
cool. This game, what?
He just jumped ahead of me now.
Oh.
Achmaniac is Sam.
Yeah. This game does cool things with online play.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You can talk about that while I'm racing.
Okay.
I mean, it's
With
Autolog.
the Autolog stuff. Yeah.
It uses the Autolog stuff, and so it all happens in real time. There is sort of head-to-head online, the proper multiplayer that people would expect.
Which they actually didn't have in Hot Pursuit.
It was just Autolog.
And the other game that used a similar system to Autolog was actually SSX earlier this year.
Yeah, this is
they
actually.
didn't have head-to-head multiplayer for that, although they did add it after the fact.
I mean, I would say the Autolog stuff is very similar to SSX in the sense that it happens like asynchronously. Like if you turn the game off, you'll turn it back on and you'll see that people, broke your longest drift record,
Yeah.
broke your record for.
It's really smart.
There's a lot of cool stuff, and I almost like
Speed
that.
cams?
Speed cams, yeah. So the city has, this fictional city has speed cameras all over the place, and it tracks the fastest you've gone through a speed camera. Like you went through the speed camera at 92 miles an hour, and then it'll tell you if someone else went through it at a faster speed.
Yep.
And that's sort of a weird, like I would imagine early on those will be records that are easy to break and re-break and re-break, but once that speed gets up pretty high, it might be kind of tricky. You might need to find the right vehicle or take the right path through a speed camera to try to beat back your friend's record.
You're like,
Yeah,
taking
this race
ramps
is
here.
crazy. Are
This is
you like,
awesome. I haven't done this one before. This is a new
Yeah.
car for us too. So
which one are you in now?
it's the Mitsubishi.
Oh, you're still in that Mitsubishi. Yeah, that was a really, really cool start to that race.
Yeah, I mean you'll see lots of crazy stuff in this game that you wouldn't see in normal racing games. I mean,
Yeah.
jumping giant jumps and
Oh, I thought you were
there are
gonna
like
Yeah.
loop-the-loops, and there's a bunch of crazy arcadey stuff that you can run across.
You only lost 2 positions though.
I have no idea where
Wow.
I'm going.
That was crazy. And like now this is an
There you
example
go,
of
yeah.
like it's night, so it's actually
There you
wow,
go.
oh,
Didn't have enough speed.
didn't quite have enough speed.
And I don't have nitrous yet in this car either.
Wow, this is a wild race.
Yeah, I haven't seen one this crazy.
And so there is a mixture of, I mean, I don't know how many square miles, the city of Fairhaven is or how big it is. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a huge map or anything like that. Like you can get from one end to the other pretty quickly, but there's a lot of variety. I mean, there's sort of city maps where you're taking lots of tight turns or lots of right angle turns. There's a highway where it's a much more like sort of gradual. There's off-road races.
And so that's the thing, like I feel like when you're driving around, right, you actually spend a lot of time on the highway and
Yeah.
the city doesn't feel that big, but you see when you're doing the races, there's all this crazy
all these
drivable
areas, yeah.
terrain that you just don't see otherwise. And you can get into this, I mean, the racetracks aren't closed off at any point. You can always drive on them.
Yep, so the races do have, these checkpoints. Basically, all you need to do is get from one checkpoint to another, and you can take any route to get to that checkpoint that you want. And the map in the corner, I don't know if the picture-in-picture is covering it up, but the map in the corner...
Distracted me with your hand, Justin.
Sorry. Whoa. The picture-in-picture, excuse me, the map will give you like a suggested route of, go this way or go that way, but you don't have to follow it if
Not
you
that
don't.
way.
No. Wow.
The other thing, right, is with racing games, with games like this in particular, we were talking earlier, I mean, I'm the type of guy where if I'm not in, it's that same jump, man.
Yeah.
If I'm not in first place right when I'm about to cross the finish line, I immediately hit retry.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Gold medal or nothing.
Right.
So I actually think after I don't get the gold medal on this one, I might pass off the control to Justin and see how he does.
Well, I will embarrass myself.
I think this game rewards you for first and second place.
Yep.
First, second, and
You get-
third.
You get a reward for third
You
place?
get
Oh,
speed
no,
points.
yeah, you get speed points.
Okay.
You don't get an upgrade.
Yeah.
Right. So, like we said before, all the events in this game are based on the vehicle that you're in. Each vehicle has 5 events, and if you finish first or second, you get upgrades, like faster nitro or better tires that grip better. So it's in your best interest to make sure you get that first place, because then it'll make the future events easier.
Yep.
Like, if you're having trouble with an event, you can go back and get a better, get a better place in the previous event, and then the upgrades might make it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, so I'm
I'll give
actually
it a
gonna. Yeah, you want to try that again?
Yeah. Well, I won't try this. We'll do something else, but I'll.
Okay. I was gonna jump back
Okay.
to the
Yeah.
Nissan, which I just put the nitrous in, so you can do
Okay.
a race with nitrous.
I'll give it a shot. Don't judge
Pick your
me.
car.
Don't judge me.
Go to town.
So JGNum01 asks, since all the cars are unlocked from the start, will there be anything to unlock from playing the story mode?
There is no story mode.
That's the thing. Yeah,
Well,
it's not really story mode.
Yeah, I mean, there's no story other than those most wanted racers, right? They're the 10 racers that you have to beat in the single player mode. And I guess theoretically, once you beat the first one and you're the number 1, you're most wanted. And
Right.
you've beaten the story. But there's no narrative or anything.
Yeah. So that is a departure from previous Need for Speed games, right?
Yeah.
Like some have had a story, some haven't. And so here's an example of, we jump into this menu and you can see the 5 races. This is the one we did. There's a few hard ones, a few medium ones, and then there's always one easy one. And I think that's the same for every vehicle. So maybe we'll go to the next, we'll go to the medium race. And then it puts a waypoint on your map, and then you just drive to the race.
And you see with this car, since we added the nitrous to it, I mean, the bottom right hand, you have your nitrous bar.
But you do unlock upgrades for your cars. So I guess that's what you unlock by winning races.
Yeah, so a lot of the Need for Speed fans, of course, are being very vocal about the fact that Most Wanted in the past had very customizable cars, and in order for it to be Most Wanted, you have to have customization. I mean, this is a new game, so whatever, but there is some light customization
Yeah.
in the fact that, yeah, you do have these unlocks.
You can change your vehicle's color and stuff like that too.
Just look at where you just were driving.
Yeah.
You're driving on the top of, like, shipping containers and stuff.
Your car changes color every time you drive through the
Yeah,
the heel shop.
That's another thing they borrowed from Burnout, actually, is those drive-through shops that, repair your car and then they change its color, which I think, sort of takes the cops off you GTA style.
Yeah, it doesn't make you lose them automatically, but I think it does make you drop like a level of wanted
Okay.
or lose some heat.
Yeah.
That's the Aston Martin.
Should we go back there and grab it?
Yeah, grab it.
We'll grab it and then maybe, because then we'll at least have it for the future.
Yeah, you can jump back into this car and do this race stuff.
Yep.
That's actually the car you start with, I think, right? The very beginning of the game,
Are you
in
in an Aston
that
Martin?
opening race,
really?
I think you're in an Aston Martin.
So now should we hop back into the,
Yeah, do a race of nitrous.
I agree.
That Aston Martin's awesome, though. I unlocked it
Yeah.
last night. I really enjoyed.
I'm very popular right
Okay.
now. Lots of guys
Yeah.
want to be my
Yeah,
friend.
true.
I'm not going to friend any of you.
We should turn that off.
So as you sort of hop into vehicles, like I said, you have their races forever then, so it's best when you see them, just hop into them, and then you can always go back later if that's not what you want to do, like right at that second.
0.3 miles from this race.
Yep.
Show us what you got.
Yep. And so, I don't know, it's a little bit of a pain to have to drive to each race. I sometimes feel like it's kind of busy work a little bit,
Yeah.
honestly, but
What are you doing?
yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't talk
It's
and
hard.
drive.
It's really hard.
You only have to do it once.
Yeah, but you only have to do it
Only have to do it
once.
the first time, and I think also, I mean, spatially, it kind of helps you understand where you are in the city.
Dude, am I on a shipping container?
It looks like you're yeah, you're on a boat.
Find
Nice.
Wow.
Import duty.
Interesting. So I don't want to be, I am not a racing game pro. This
Well,
is a judgment. This is a judgment-free couch. Okay.
And this is a
And-
medium race, Justin.
And we know that like YouTube is judgment-free too. So
I'm used to playing, the baby iPhone games.
yeah, for sure. Which you've been playing Need for Speed on
Yeah.
iOS actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Feel free to judge us in the comments, or you can tweet at IGN with the hashtag #MostWanted to ask us questions and judge us there as well.
Yes. Judges won't win a copy of the game though.
They might.
Right. As a reminder, we do have 5 copies of the game. People?
Yep. We do.
Oh!
Love how we're all leaning forward.
See, I've raced in this area. See, this is really kind of tough at night, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've
Although it
raced
doesn't
in
help
this.
when we have bright studio lights in our face.
You're
either.
still in third though.
I've raced in this area before, that same beach, but I was coming the other direction, and it was like sunrise, and so it really does feel completely different. Like
Yeah.
they make good use of their space.
Yeah, the racetracks themselves are all, I found really awesome. I enjoy them. There's some long ones too.
Yeah.
And as you've noticed from us playing, the game's also not very easy. I
No,
always
not at all.
found out Burnout games were very pick up and play.
Yeah.
And you could start advancing pretty quickly.
Yeah, we all came into the office this morning, and we're like, so this game's kind of tough, right? Or am I just terrible? And then we were all like,
Well,
yeah.
we're all sort of terrible too. But
Maybe it's because each car only has like 5 races, so there's only one easy race for a car.
yeah, exactly. Well, that's fine. You can go around the city picking up
Yeah.
different cars and doing all the easy races.
Sure.
And by that point, you'll have upgrades in those cars, and then theoretically you're better at the game, and you can go back and do medium races.
And it's not really this game's fault, but you'll just see right there, like I completely missed a turn. And that's like the one, like I'm a big fan of open world racing games, I prefer them. But the downside is you're kind of at the mercy of, it can be hard to miss turns like that. Like it's not always obvious where you need to go.
Yeah. It can get hectic too. When
Yeah.
you have the cops on your tail during a race, sometimes you'll have
Yep. You got cops on your tail.
12 plus cars in front of you trying to bash you all at the same time. So
Yeah. I would actually say the one thing that I like least about this game is sometimes I'll lose a race just because I missed a turn and it wasn't obvious that I needed to turn.
yeah.
There's a lot that I like a lot, but that's one thing that I'm not as wild
But it's a
about.
racing game, right? So you have to learn the course.
It's the same turn. Well, I didn't learn the last time, did I?
No, you were talking.
Yeah. That's my excuse.
Rage Mode Engage asks, how many different types of races are there? So Caleb, have you encountered anything more than just,
Yeah,
racing
I
for
have.
fun?
They all have names. When you are clicking them from Easy Drive, they have different categories. I can't think off the top of my head.
That's actually something I wanted to touch on, is that there are different race types,
Yeah.
and they're actually pretty cool. My favorite is you have to maintain a minimum speed.
I love that one.
So, and the bronze, silver, or gold, or not minimum, but average speed. Like
It's
if
an
you
average-
can
it's
keep
an
your
average speed.
average speed over 75 miles an hour, that might be bronze. Over 85 might be silver. And
Over
95
100,
Yeah.
it's gold, which is awesome because keeping a high speed at all times is kind of the way it plays games.
I got the fuzz on me, guys.
There you go. Nice.
And that fills your nitro, by the way, when you kill it.
Yep.
Not kill, when you crash one of the cops.
or one of your competitors
Yeah.
as well. There are takedowns in this game, just like Burnout.
Yep. Yeah.
There you go.
Pretty good.
I thought it said 2 laps. I feel like I've done more than 2.
This is the second lap.
Okay.
We have a healthy lead right
You're
now.
also in first.
Getting it done.
It's a medium race, Justin.
I know.
We're all gonna be proud of you.
If you keep, you're gonna jinx it, guys.
Oh no! Make it through!
That's really scary.
So Justin, you and I are both been playing on PS3.
Uh-huh.
We're playing on 360 right now. Experience is pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm not a big, some people are like, oh yeah, the frame rate's obviously better on one or the other, and I'm not a guy that can really pick up on that sort of thing, or, little graphical details. I usually don't notice that sort of thing. I didn't notice any, gigantic differences.
No, I
between
think
the
you're
two
gonna have to be
versions.
really nitpicky and want to be looking for things in order to find differences.
Shoot. No! No, it was right at the finish line.
And this is where you restart the race, right?
Oh man.
in the second place. Well, we still got the fancy tires.
There you go. Track tires.
Yeah. That was a good race though. You had a
That's
really
great.
good run.
Okay.
It looks like we have 2 most wanted racers that we can race against now too.
And so here's an example. There is light car customization, but it's not really like you get an upgrade. You can apply the upgrade right away. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. Like I always just hit apply.
Well, because there are
sometimes
different types of tires and different
they-
types of bodies.
Sometimes
Oh,
they
okay.
have they're detrimental to certain steps.
Yeah.
Like
Once you're out of a race, like you're just right back.
Yeah.
But the
End
cops
of
are
the
still
world.
on your tail.
I want to do
Do one of the most wanted races, yeah.
And so now we've earned enough speed points that we can do the first most wanted race.
Yeah.
And sort of move up the leaderboard. So it's not really a story, but that's the equivalent of the game.
And those cars, those most wanted cars, you can't find.
Yeah.
You have to unlock them by beating them.
Yep, that's actually exactly right.
And how do you lose the cops? You just have to.
Yeah, you outrun them. You outrun them, or you can hide.
And where can you hide? Just like,
I mean, just like find some off. Like if they don't see you make a turn, like you can find some off-beaten path.
Yeah, and like when you go into cooldown as well.
smash through it. The nitrous.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
I love some of the chatter over the cop radios during races.
That was really bad. I
Gotta
tried
get through the drive-through.
Pick up that Chevy
Which Chevy?
right there.
Where? Oh, right there. Yeah.
Swap out.
I wonder what happens. Are they gonna know I just swapped vehicles? Yep, they're very aware. And you can do those Need for Speed, or not the Need for Speed, the most wanted races in any vehicle. So it's like if one's too hard, just like try to find a faster vehicle.
Well, that's actually an issue I was having last night.
Yeah.
My car was, the acceleration just wasn't fast enough for the racetrack and the car type I was racing against.
Yeah. Yep.
Even though I had a super high top speed, I was never able to hit it, and I just could not finish a race.
Yep. Yeah, they'll set up
Lose the
spike
cars.
strips. They'll set up roadblocks.
No helicopters though.
No.
At least not yet.
Those roadblocks often have like a gap in the cards that you can try to hit.
Yeah.
Bucci66 asks, how big is the world? Do you see yourself racing through the same areas constantly?
You want to pull up the map?
Yeah. Is it in the pause screen?
It's in the back.
It's either one. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little bit hard to judge, like, and this, I think it's the bumpers. No, it's not the bumpers. The triggers. So the triggers you can toggle between, different. Like these are the different vehicles we found, and you can hop into them at any time. And then there's the different speed cameras that we've unlocked. And then you can see like we can see that you've gone through that speed camera a little bit faster than Sam has, and as more people play the game, there'll be more leaderboards there. This is the billboards. I guess we haven't crashed through very many. We've crashed through a few. So there's one
There you go,
billboard,
there.
for example. And so all that stuff sort of, the map seems empty, but then these dots sort of accumulate as you play the game more.
And all that stuff gives you speed points.
Yeah.
Taking down someone else's record, opening up a new car, smashing through a billboard. Pretty much any action you're taking, apart from crashing and losing and being terrible, is going to get you points.
Yep. And I don't know how big the game world is in terms of square miles. I think it feels a little small, but like I said, they make good use of the space.
Yeah.
And if you race through things in different directions, or underneath the highway, on the highway, like, so here's like this line is showing us to our destination, and let's see how
Far
far
away that is. That's 2.5 miles.
Yeah. So it's probably many miles of road actually.
Yeah.
To be fair. Sure. And then.
And I haven't heard any plans about DLC or anything, but I'm sure they can always add more road layer if they need to.
I mean, they did to Burnout.
Yep, they added that whole. Actually, they added
An island. Yeah.
2 extra sections, right?
they?
Or was it just the island?
I don't remember. I remember the one. We'll just lose him. Changes colors.
It would just lower your
They
heat.
just had a description update.
Uh-oh. That's pretty cool. They do like red Corvette. Like that's actually
Well, that's what I was saying. Like listening to the cop chatter is great. Like in the middle of races, they'll talk about how these aren't just joyriders and how how these are serious racers. They gotta take down.
You're better at racing than you are just getting around the city, Justin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like real life. I have a terrible sense of direction, so I'm constantly glancing down at the map. And that crash into the corner was actually a good example of, these vehicles feel weightier and feel heavier, and stuff that you could probably get away with in more arcadey racing games will punish you a little bit here. Yeah. It's not terrible, but it's definitely a feeling that you can't just like zip around
And
corners
as a
real
result,
fast.
I can't control the cars in third person at all.
Yeah,
Like,
see-
I've been trying to do it, I just can't do it.
No,
You're busted. You're busted.
Wow, I've actually never seen that meter get that close. Okay, we're almost there.
We're at the
This is
SUVs.
a good. The Blotch 123 asks if damage is all cosmetic.
I think so.
Like, so it's not affecting the handling of your car.
Not that I know of.
So it's it's really easy to just totally demolish your car.
Yeah.
So damage is sort of a non-issue, but and I can't say 100% for sure. I do think damage affects your car though, because I've been in races and since I drive in first person, I don't actually look at my car and see how damaged it is.
Yeah.
But I've been in races where I've noticed my top speed is at like 78 miles per hour or something. And I'm sure that's damage. Either that or my triggers are broken.
Where's the race start? Is it right here? I'm gonna let. No, don't. I don't want to get busted now.
You can't start the race when the cops are on you.
I gotta lose the cops?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's.
What self-respecting street racers will let you start a race with them if you already have cops in it?
That checks out, but like this is getting messy now. Trying.
Other thing you notice, pursuits are great ways to rack up speed points.
Yeah.
The longer they go on and the higher your wanted rating is, the more points you're getting. You can see your pursuit up underneath your total score.
Wow. That's gotta lose them.
But that only cashes in if you lose the cops.
Okay, I'm gonna hide. They don't know where I am.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They're not gonna. What, are they gonna fly off the highway and follow me?
Yes, they're right behind you.
Oh no!
You're busted, bud.
They're relentless. I thought for sure I was safe.
They're hard. It's tough to lose them. Right?
Yeah. Should I just get busted?
I mean, I almost think you should That's because there's not really a penalty, so that's easier than trying to lose them.
Well, I think that's what it is. There's not a penalty to lose them, but you don't get that awesome pursuit bonus that you're racking up.
Oh, okay, I'll just get busted. Well.
Right? I mean, that 8,000 right there, that's like coming in second in a race.
Yeah.
If you were to lose them.
But you lose that now that you got busted?
Yep.
Okay, you don't get any of it. Okay.
And I think they also send you back. Like you don't get to start where you just
Yeah, they send you back to your car's origination point, which means
okay.
you gotta go back to that race.
Yeah, well, I'll try extra hard to not get the police's attention.
See if we have any other questions out there.
I can always drive you there.
Yeah. You have to go. I got it this time.
So Jackie-san asks, do the hidden cars to unlock pop up on the minimap, or do we have to spot them in the wild?
The secret cars? Or the unlockable cars? Which
I think he just means cars.
they're not on the map till you find them.
Yeah.
Once you find them means drive by them. You don't have to pick them up.
No, yeah.
If you see them,
Like if you spot them in the world and you drive by them, then you're gonna be
And then
dead.
you can just hop back to them at any time.
Yep. And so my suggestion.
well, no, you can only hop back to them once you have picked them up.
Okay.
They
Right,
show up
okay.
on the map once you drive by them.
Yeah.
And you can get them at any time once you pick them up once.
Yeah. So my suggestion would be to hop into one and then just
Yeah.
hop right back out of it if that's not what you want to do at that second.
Because that automatically,
Yep,
it
that'll
opens up
save
the
you
car, it opens up a bunch of races.
Yep.
You're trying to get to a most wanted race right now.
I'm trying my best. I wanted to do it during daytime too, for sure. They have good sound in the tunnels and stuff.
Oh yeah, the car sounds are amazing. I mean, I was playing on my surround sound at home, and I don't remember which car it was. I think it might have been the Audi S8. But I went to a tunnel like this, and just my rear surrounds just exploded.
Yeah.
Oh! Okay. I got it. I was just gonna say I was doing all right too. I'm like, I don't know if the car sounds, I'm not much of a gearhead, so are they like true to life or anything like that? I'm not sure, but they sound good, for sure.
Yeah, I mean enough to actually really add to the experience.
Yeah. And we were 3.8 miles away from our destination, so, it's a pretty decent sized city. I mean, okay, that was bad. I thought there was like a ramp there.
Logical place for a ramp in the middle of a bridge.
There's a billboard back there.
Almost there.
Okay, no cops.
Oh, you missed the turnoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm gonna start being a backseat driver now.
No, you should go here.
Just like real life.
Well, that's a circuit race.
Yeah.
I want the.
You want the real deal. I'm just gonna follow. I think there's a shortcut, but I'm gonna play it safe and follow the green line.
Although you probably want a car that has nitrous for the.
I'm gonna get it done. I don't need nitrous.
All right, you're a real man. You can do it.
Uh-huh.
Through the billboard, through the billboard.
I think I'm down here though. I mean,
That was that exact same
Yeah.
Yeah, so
ramp from that race. Yeah, you're right there.
Here it is.
Okay, let's see what a most wanted race is like. Wait, is it just a one-on-one race?
It's a one-on-one race, and it's not a circuit. You're racing from like point A to point B.
Yep. And the cops
Yeah.
always get involved.
And that's actually, so we actually never talked about the other race types. Like there's the maintain a max average speed, there's making a few number of laps, and then there's like point A to point B races.
There's also ones that right at the beginning you start with the cops and you have to shake them.
Yeah.
And it's a amount of time that you're under pursuit.
Oh.
You come in, first, second, or third based on you've been under pursuit for 4.5 minutes or 6.5 minutes. Or,
Okay.
This race.
Yeah, I did this
I was
one
just
too.
doing this again last night.
And I've done, this is actually the only most wanted race I've done. I unlocked another one, but I didn't try it yet. They seem to be, it's still the same city, it's still the same everything, but they seem to be a little bit more like cinematic, or the route they're taking you on seems to be like more epic. Like it goes through the city and the country.
And they definitely get a little more set piecey about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, more cops, more stuff going on.
And this is a 5-mile long race too, so it's like, and this one ends on the beach, and well, we'll get there in a bit, but whoa!
Oh no!
Wow. And I think, I am not positive about this, but it seems to me like there is some rubber banding. Like I just had an epic crash, but I'll be caught up to him again in a sec. Like,
There definitely
I've
is.
noticed that too. Yeah.
and maybe that changes later on, but that's how it is at least towards the start.
Were you able to beat this last night, Justin?
I don't remember. It was the last thing I did before I went to bed. So yeah, I wish I had nitro. But we could always, unlock it too. Spike strip.
This car is fast though, so it could be in decent shape.
Yeah. I don't even remember. What am I in right now?
Your first.
Oh, you're in,
The Aston Martin. Oops.
no, the car? It's the Corvette.
Oh, that's right.
You're,
I guess you
you're
probably
racing is it an Alfa Romeo concept car? Is that what it is?
I think so, yeah. And then if you beat it, then you unlock it.
Well, if you beat it, then you have to take it down, and then you
Whoa.
unlock it.
So yeah, that's an example of the roadblocks often have a little hole that you can drive through. Okay.
Also,
okay.
often don't, and you're expecting the
Yeah.
hole and you can't find it.
That's true. That does happen. Maybe there is one and we just never spot it. I'm actually doing okay.
You guys are earning me all sorts of achievements. I appreciate that.
I don't want to jinx
left and
myself. Whoa!
You're doing very well, Justin.
Dude, don't say that. Thank you. But that's when I crash.
We'll all just be quiet and watch.
Oh, do they put out spikes?
They did. I ran over a spike strip.
And so, have you figured out what spike strips do? I mean, they don't actually cause your tires to pop, do they?
It's just
Didn't they?
temporary. Like you lose control
lose
for a
control
few
just
seconds
for
and it
that,
slows you
yeah.
down for a few seconds, but then you're fine. Oops.
Oh, you really had it.
You got a mile left.
Oh
to
no,
make
I'm
a
still
speed.
on my. I'm still driving on my rim.
Oh wow.
Huh. I was sure they were just temporary. Now I'm not so sure. That's a really tight turn. And this is the cool spot on the beach. Like we were racing the other direction on this beach backwards a minute ago, but it totally feels different.
Oh, he's way up there.
Yeah.
You only have
I got
half a mile left.
I got half a mile. I only need half a mile. I do wish I had some nitro.
I know, right? Oh, so close.
I should have taken that shortcut. I got scared. Where am I going? I'm lost now.
Oh no, don't go there!
How did I get in here? Can I get back out? Can I go this way?
Well, you already lost the race. It doesn't matter, does it?
I like how the thing turns sideways when you finish. Just some cool stuff like that. Damon, you want to give it a shot?
Sure, I need to find an easy race though.
Yeah. Hop into, this vehicle's
Oh, well, we're
easy
doing the
race.
most wanted one then. I mean, should we try to beat it quickly?
You want to do it?
Should I do one?
Yeah.
Give it one more shot.
For right here. Retry last event. That's good. That's a handy feature, so
Yeah.
you don't have to drive back to it.
Yep.
I mean, that was the problem with Burnout Paradise, right? It was that it wasn't really easy to jump in and out of races.
Yeah, so someone just asked, JD whoever asked if there are spike strips and other cop features. We just saw the spike strips. I don't know about helicopters though.
There's, it may be when
There
you
might
reach
be
that
at
very top
level 5
Yeah.
wanted, yeah. We don't
But
know.
I don't think so. I haven't seen them.
Oh man, it looks so different. In
It
first
really
person.
does. It's like, whoa! I feel like I gotta scoot back.
Yeah.
Take that ramp.
So do you see it? My gamertag photo was up on
Oh,
the
that was
billboards?
weird. Were you like, and it was a wanted sign?
Yeah.
That's
When you're on it, that's pretty good.
I would say the cops, they're a part of this game, but it's really more just like flavor than like a key focus of it.
Yeah.
They come into play in some races like this race, and they'll
They're
chase
just
you.
obstacles.
Whoa! Wow. Yeah, they're really just more obstacles, but it's not really like a focal point. And I mean, maybe there's helicopters, but I've never seen them. The spike strips that we saw, you have a wanted level at the bottom that climbs as they catch you breaking the law or whatever, and then they, they'll chase you with SUVs. They'll
heat
put
level
down,
down there?
yeah, the heat level. They'll put down spike strips, that sort of thing.
They're aggressive.
Yeah, they are really aggressive. And I always feel like they only bother the player. It's like, dude, bother that guy. He's winning.
I know, right?
Maybe he's going after him, actually. I should take that back.
Oh.
I think this is, I don't know how you can play in first person. It seems way tougher.
I have no control over the car in third person. I don't know why. This is a conversation I was actually having the other day with, I think with Mitch. Burnout 3, was there a third person view?
I mean, I think they've all had it.
I would say there must be because that's the only way I play.
I don't remember playing Burnout ever in third person, apart from Paradise. And I don't know whether that was just like personal play style at the time or what it was.
So there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not wild about this game, but there's a lot of stuff I do like. And you're in the middle of a race, a semi-scripted race, and you just blew through a speed camera, and it still like set a new speed record for you. So stuff like that just happens all the time. Anywhere you like, if you blow through a billboard for the first time, in a race, or just like free driving, that sort of stuff is smart and pretty cool. Yeah, I was doing well at this point too, though. So just.
Yeah, I still got 1.6 miles to go, and I do that because I was looking at the median like, between the which lane I want to pick, and of course I pick car.
One thing that can definitely be a pain is this is an open world racing game, so you can take whatever path you want, but you have to hit each checkpoint. And so sometimes, like since it's open world, like the designers can't account for everything. If you take a wrong,
oh god,
I crashed there too.
Yeah. If
you take a wrong turn, it can be really hard to get back on track sometimes. Yeah. Like there's not an easy way to like right yourself, and it can ruin a perfectly good race.
I love how all of us just lean to the right.
Yeah.
You're falling apart here.
I know.
It's
over.
Turn.
And this is why I always restart, right?
Yeah. You can close on it. You can close on it right now.
If I had nitrous, this would make it so much easier.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back into the easy race maybe and unlock it. Oh. Yeah, you're not gonna get there. Close though. You did better than me.
Ah! Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, you should do
better. Damn it,
really good try though.
So we're failing to beat the easiest, most wanted race.
Well,
but again, like we don't know how strong the vehicle we're in is.
Exactly.
And, or what else is in the world.
How do you switch out of first person?
The left bumper.
Go back.
And you got all these cops. Yeah, like set that.
Get nitrous for this car, yeah.
Oh, what?
All units, suspect detained. Pursuit is now suspended.
You want me to look at questions?
You can. See if we get any.
How are we doing on giveaways?
Oh yeah. Should we give something away?
Sure.
To the next question.
If it's a good one, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So find a good one.
Got it. How do you pronounce this name? I don't know. This is the tough one.
Whew. I have no idea. Josue Quaylar?
Yeah, Josue Quaylar asks, are there any special hidden points or buildings to collapse to lose the cops?
Sorry for butchering your name.
Buildings to collapse?
Yeah.
No buildings to collapse, but you can definitely knock down telephone poles and stuff to slow down people behind you.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to outrun the cops is speed.
Yeah.
Just drive very, very
and
fast.
And takedowns.
Yeah, take them down, and then, they, I don't know like how much of this is scripted, but they're pretty smart about, if they're not like right behind you, they won't see you take a turn.
Well, but the cops is where I think is where you really see rubber banding.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, they stick with you. They're tight on you.
They're on you.
So, Josue, I don't know, Josue, yeah, you get a copy of Burnout. Or not Burnout. Whoa, that was quite the Freudian.
Need for Speed,
you get a copy of
Most
Need
Wanted.
for Speed, Most Wanted on the platform of your choice.
Yeah, we're going to be getting those copies on Monday, so we'll be able to send them out to you early next week.
Yeah. We have a question from Churchler, who says, I'm so bad. I'm really, really bad at doing names.
No, people give themselves really weird names.
People have weird Twitter names. It says, what's one thing you really like about this game and one thing you really don't like? Caleb, let's start with you.
One thing I really like about this game is that I can play it like Burnout. In first person, going really fast, and driving on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah. What's one thing you really don't like?
One thing I don't like about it so far, honestly, is that I don't, and maybe I haven't played enough, I don't
Sure.
think the city